So here's an important question that we didn't answer yet, or didn't ask and answer. Who are Gen Y? We've talked a lot about Gen Y, Generation Y, Millennials. There's about 30 or 40 different names that this generation is known by. Born primarily between 1980 and 1996 to 2000, depending on who you talk to, what the cutoff date is. For any generation, there's no magic cutoff date. But somewhere between 1980 and, let's say, 1996, 1997. It's the most diverse generation to date. Many young people grew up in very integrated environments. They basically may not even see color or race or ethnicity with the group, so it's the most diverse. It's the most studied generation to date, even more than baby boomers, because baby boomers are studied, but baby boomers are also studying the millennials, as you are today or during this course. It's also a generation full of contradictions. There's a lot of myths, there's a lot of stereotypes, and we're going to address a few of those. But why don't we just ask David what his perspective is? What's the millennial? How does millennials look at jobs and work?
So millennials have a very unique perspective when it comes with jobs and work. There's three major categories. The first category is what millennials' expectations are in the workforce. So in terms of how millennials view a career versus a traditional career from a baby boomer, is millennials see their career or know that their career is going to vary not just in industry, but also in role and capacity. So it's kind of like you have to think of it like a game board. The millennial sees their career as a game board. How can they advance across the game board while advancing in the areas that they want to advance in their life? So a millennial might not be only optimizing their position in the corporate ladder, they might also be optimizing their flexibility, their ability to travel around the world, and their ability to have different experiences. The second thing that's important to millennials is the ability to not just be an individual contributor, but to make an impact. And there's two ways that millennials see that they can make an impact. One way is the leadership way. They want to have the ability to lead in the organization and not just be an individual contributor where they're a data analyst putting data into a spreadsheet, but someone who's on the front lines making change within the organization or within the world. The second is social impact. A lot of companies, as in the past, have seen corporate social responsibility as a back office activity just to keep a few of their shareholders happy. Now, millennials are putting pressure in all types of organizations to care about sustainability, to care about their international image, to care about their brand, and to care about what their brand means to the people that see their brand outside of just the veneer of the market. And then the last thing the millennials care about comes down to the concepts of Daniel Pink: mastery, autonomy, and purpose. Millennials want to have those three elements as part of their career experience in order for them to be effective and feel fulfilled within their job. As soon as some of those elements are disappearing, they're not just going to sit there and take it, they're going to look for another career path. And even if their employer offers them more money or perks, it may not be enough. It's important that they feel as if they're fulfilled within their career. So this is just my perspective. A lot of millennials have a wide-ranging perspective, and some are more interested in some areas than others, but this can be a broad insight that will help you within your recruiting.
And from both a baby boomer and also an employer and working with many small and large companies, some of this seems daunting. It seems like it's going to be a total reversal. But you mentioned one thing, David, about as simple as data entry. It's not that millennials don't want to do the data entry, but they want to know what the purpose is. It's not just sitting in a cubicle or at your desk and filling in the blanks. It's what does this mean? What's the outcome of that? How does that connect to the bigger picture? And the reality is the numbers they're using may be put into into a business plan or a strategy, and it may be very integral. And up to this point, companies have not shared that with their employees. And that's probably one of the biggest differences.
Yeah, exactly, Ira. If you're here sitting from a manufacturing perspective, you probably have large amounts of data that you need specific millennials to enter data on. But if you can explain to them the impact on how you're going to enable them to create new service lines, to have better information about your products or have real-time inventory, they're really going to see the benefit that having that data entry is more than just typing numbers in a spreadsheet.
And we're talking about recruiting and HR to a greater extent here. So even having an HR intern or an HR generalist or an administrative assistant taking a resume and putting the information, where did this person go to school and how long has it taken to contact them back. Even information is based on that. If they're just doing that to fill in the blanks because that's their job or their task, there isn't any meaning. But if they understand that that can help them hire people better, improve the bottom line for a company because they have more people in place that are more qualified, become more productive, and the profitability of the company goes up, that's the connection. So it's really understanding the purpose.